Hi, I'm Jess Andrews. I'm the Director of Resident Life at Carroll Lutheran Village, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit today about the practice of gratitude. What is gratitude? Let's take a few minutes to talk with those around you. What does gratitude mean to you? Is it a feeling, an action? Is it part of your personality, or something learned over time? We're going to give you a few minutes to chat with each other. Now that you've had a chance to discuss a little bit about what gratitude means to you, let's look into the formal definitions. The Cambridge Dictionary defines gratitude as a strong feeling of appreciation to someone or something for how they have helped you. The Oxford Dictionary says that gratitude is the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for and return kindness. What does it mean to actually practice gratitude, though? Practicing gratitude is noticing the little wins. It's recognizing small moments that string together to create a web of well-being that over time strengthens your ability to notice the good. In its simplest form, gratitude refers to a state of thankfulness or a state of being grateful, not just a one-time action, but a continued mindset. Psychologists have defined gratitude as a positive emotional response that we perceive on giving or receiving benefit from someone. You may be thinking to yourself, I'm already thankful for the good in my life. Why should I practice being grateful? A regular practice of gratitude actually changes our brain. People who express and feel gratitude have a higher volume of gray matter in the brain, and this is associated with decreased risk of cognitive impairment. When we express and receive gratitude, our brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the two crucial neurotransmitters responsible for our emotions, and they make us feel good. They enhance our mood immediately, making us feel happy from the inside. Also, by releasing dopamine, gratitude fills us with more vitality, thereby reducing subjective feelings of pain. So by consciously practicing gratitude every day, we can help neural pathways in our brains to strengthen themselves and ultimately create a permanent, grateful, and positive nature within ourselves. Now we know there are physical benefits to gratitude. There are also psychological and social ones. They all feed off of each other. When you practice gratitude, you feel more positive emotions and thoughts. This can lead to stronger interpersonal relationships and more likability among group members. When you're more liked, you do more things with other people. You have better sleep-wake cycles and less body aches and pains. This can lead to increased self-satisfaction and an enhanced mood. Expressing gratitude not only to others, but also to ourselves, induces positive emotions, primarily happiness. By producing feelings of pleasure and contentment, gratitude impacts our overall health and well-being as well. Besides enhancing self-love and empathy, gratitude also has a significant positive impact on body functions and psychological conditions like stress, anxiety, and depression. There have been a lot of studies on gratitude. In one study, participants were divided into 3 groups. Each group was required to journal daily. Group 1 about the hassles and negative events, Group 2 about things for which they are grateful, and Group 3 about neutral life events. The gratitude subsample consistently evidenced higher well-being in comparison with the other 2 groups. In another study, students could participate in one of 2 exercises, one that would purposefully boost happiness or another that consisted of cognitive exercises. In order to equalize the expectations of participants, the students were informed that participation in either group was likely to increase their overall sense of well-being. The happiness group wrote about their best possible future selves for that for which they were grateful. The cognitive group wrote about events from the past week. The happiness group proved a much greater increase in well-being at the end of the exercise. Practicing gratitude has effects on well-being around the globe. Among Taiwanese high school athletes, scholars have found that gratitude positively affects life satisfaction. This study was extended to Taiwanese college students, and the results were consistent. Speaking of young adults, in a research study in the United States, counting blessings was found to be one of the most effective tools for reaching life satisfaction. Seems a simple and completely free avenue for gaining so much of what our young people are seeking. So in summary, practicing gratitude releases toxic emotions, it reduces pain, improves sleep quality, aids in stress regulation, reduces anxiety and depression. Gratitude is positively correlated to more vitality, energy, and enthusiasm to work harder. All of that being said, there's a little wiggle room in the research. Studies, including veterans with PTSD, for example, prove that for these patients, there was a correlation between gratitude and well-being. However, for veterans who were not diagnosed with PTSD, there was no correlation, proving that gratitude does not always improve well-being. A group of college students were asked to write a letter to someone who made a positive impact on them. After doing so, their emotional state of gratitude was compared to a neutral state of emotion. No significant difference was noted. Among middle-aged divorced women who were asked to keep a gratitude journal compared to those who read educational material, no significant improvements in their life satisfaction were noted. These studies should not prevent us from practicing gratitude, but are shared. These studies should not prevent us from practicing gratitude, but instead are shared for a well-rounded approach to the topic. These studies remind us that practicing gratitude is only one piece of well-being and achieving life satisfaction. So if you do decide to practice gratitude, where do you begin? We affirm the good things we've received, and we acknowledge the role other people play in providing our lives with goodness. As I was researching for this presentation, I came across a lecture by Brother David Steindl-Rast. He believes the root of joy is gratefulness. It is not joy that makes us grateful, it is gratitude that makes us joyful. Brother Steindl-Rast challenges people to observe the amazing things that happen in any given moment. In his lecture, he describes it simply. When we were children, what were the 3 things we learned before crossing the street? Stop, look, go. These 3 principles are the foundation of his gratitude practice. Stop. Become present, awake, and aware. Devote your full attention to being still or slowing down. Bring your awareness to the gift of the present moment. Look. Notice, observe, and consider. What is life offering you right now? Consider the invitation to feel grateful for what you already have in your life. And go. Acknowledge and take action. Write down 3 things you are grateful for. Remember that each of these is a gift and not a given. He goes on in his lecture to talk about stop signs he uses in his home to remind him to practice. He references a time he spent as a missionary overseas in a village that did not have running water. When he returned to his home, he put a post-it note on the faucets of his sinks in his house to remind him to be grateful for the pleasure of running water inside his home. Just as important as feeling grateful, we need to remember to say it. We need to remember to say thank you, and not just say thank you, but really mean thank you. Some practical examples of the beginning stages of a gratitude practice. Start by observing. Notice the thank yous you say. Just how much of a habitual response is it? Is it a hasty aside, an afterthought? How are you feeling when you express thanks in small transactions? Are you stressed, uptight, a little absent-minded? Do a quick scan of your body. Are you already physically moving on to the next interaction? Let's take an example of going to a fast food restaurant. As the person working the counter gives us the receipt, we say thank you. But are we in the midst of shoving that receipt in our wallet, moving to the side, looking for our food, grabbing a drink? So pick one interaction a day. When your instinct to say thanks arises, stop a moment and take note. Can you name what you feel grateful for, even beyond the gesture that's been extended? Then say thank you. So when the person working the counter at that fast food restaurant gives you your receipt, can you look them in the eyes and say thank you? Not only thank you for your receipt, but thank you for coming to work today. Thank you for being here so that I can have food so that I am no longer hungry. Notice how that feels, not only to you, but to the person you are speaking with. But what if I don't feel grateful? A Blessing for When Gratitude Doesn't Come Easy by Kate Bowler. God, I am struggling to find my way toward gratitude. Help my heart find joy, for you know how much I need it. Come meet us in our needs that weigh so heavily upon us. Blessed are we who come to you just as we are, with our loneliness and loss, our scarcity and sorrow, and say, God, there is just not enough. Though we're not supposed to say it today, there is just not enough to go on. Not enough money to pay bills, not enough jobs, nor safety for those who have them. Not enough wisdom to find solutions, not enough strength or comfort or connection. Things are just harder now. Blessed are we who say, God, could you come meet us here, in this place of need, where our feelings don't match the day? Blessed are we who hear you saying, come to me, all you who are weary and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. And we come. And somehow there is rest and gladness for tiny, tiny graces. Blessed are we, the truly thankful. So I'm going to leave you with some homework today. Start to observe. Observe your surroundings, the quality of your interactions. Say thank you. Really say thank you. Make a list of stop signs. Remember the Post-it note idea from Brother Steindl Rast? These are things that will trigger you to slow down and be grateful. Let's take a few minutes to talk again in those groups. Bounce some ideas off of each other on ways you can remind yourself to stop, look, and go. Now we have our stop signs and are ready to work on our daily gratitude practice. But what happens after a couple weeks? You get really busy, you forget to stop and look and go. This is where a physical reminder, like the stop sign sticky notes, help, but also where a gratitude journal can come in handy. It doesn't have to be fancy or expensive. It can be plain or prompted. Just something to physically remind you to continue your practice. You want to put your gratitude journal somewhere where you'll see it every day, your nightstand, your kitchen counter, your coffee table. It will help you to remember to continue to practice. There are also tools like gratitude cards available. These cards are much like a playing card deck, and you can just pick a card and it will give you a prompt and something to reflect on. Personally, I have these at my desk, and they help remind me to notice the little wins. So if I pull a card out from the deck, today the prompt is, how can you be a source of joy for someone today? Other resources include apps that are available on your smartphone. Some of them are paid, but a lot of them are free. 365 Gratitude Journal is a journal you can write directly on your phone if you are not one to write in a physical book type of journal. Delightful, Reflection app, Calm. Calm also has meditations that will help you be joyful. Grateful, a gratitude journal, and gratitude garden. There are a number of podcasts available wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. I have a list here, but feel free, if you just search gratitude or practicing gratitude, there are so many wonderful resources that are available. And lastly, there are web-based resources. Grateful.org is one that is free, as are a few others. Mindful sends daily emails and meditations. And Holsty. Holsty is where I got my grateful cards from. They also have other journals and tools to help you continue on your practice of gratitude. We're going to close today with a meditation that reflects on a gratitude practice. I appreciate you being here with me. Thank you.